Hello YouTube, shintigercurl here, that dude in the straw hat, bringing you yet another awesome video. Hideo Kojima. Now, to a lot of gamers, that name carries a significant amount of weight, influence, and legend behind it. Hideo Kojima is considered by many to be one of the greatest video game directors of all time, if not the greatest video game director of all time. A man who had a vision, one of the all-time great visionaries in this industry. I would put him alongside. I put him up there with the likes of Shigeru Miyamoto and quite a few others that I'm blanking on right now because I just woke up. But needless to say, Hideo Kojima is a living legend, and he is the man behind the entire Metal Gear franchise. He was the creative director. He was pretty much the director behind the first Metal Gear game, which we got a bastardized port of. The second Metal Gear game, Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. I'm not talking about Snake's Revenge. That had nothing to do with it. It's non-canon anyway. Fuck it. And of course, the man who created and directed the entire Metal Gear Solid franchise, from Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, 4, Portable Ops, Peace Walker, Ground Zeroes, and of course 5. And let's not forget that he's also worked on several other games as well. More famously, the two games on the Sega CD. One being Snatcher, a fantastic take on the steampunk genre, sort of like Blade Runner meets the Terminator in a way. If you haven't played it, go out and play it. That is an awesome game. And the second, Policenauts, one that that the States never got, but it's out there that a fan dub did. It wasn't localized. No one did any fan translations of it, but it's out there. Those two games are considered masterpieces, otherwise piece of shit hardware like the Sega CD. Now, for those of you who are unaware, Hideo Kojima and as of this year, Hideo Kojima and Konami, the company that he has worked with for the past 20 some odd years, have parted ways through not too amiable circumstances. So much so that it's just been a lot of bad blood between them. No one knows exactly what went on. I'm actually friends with someone who works for Hideo Kojima. I'm not going to name any names because I don't want you bothering her. She's got going through enough shit already. But she says that working with Kojima is a dream because he is a unique man to work with. He has very interesting ideas, and he's awesome to work under. Now, the last game he made for this company, Metal Gear Solid 5, considered by many to be the best out of the series. And I would incline to agree with them because now normally Metal Gear games more focus on the story than the gameplay. The gameplay is great, but the story is what takes precedence. For Metal Gear 5, Kojima wanted to focus more on the gameplay itself, and he created an open sandbox world for you to just explore in. The amount of things you can do in Metal Gear Solid 5 is amazing. And the story itself is a little weak, but it's there enough that answers and fills in some of the gaps for the story. I don't know if there are a lot of you who are Metal Gear Solid fans. I'm a Metal Gear Solid fan. The first game I had the original Metal Gear game for the NES. I couldn't beat it because, well, it was pretty much a broken, bastardized port, and there was no way 8-year-old shintigercurl was going to be able to beat that thing, not without a strategy guide, and the internet wasn't invented back then, so I couldn't even get past the first couple of screens. But anyway, I liked Metal Gear. But what I'm going to get to this, the whole point of this, what I'm trying to say is that the man is a legend in the business and deserves every and all respects deserving of a legend. That's why I'm more than a little pissed off about what happened last night. Last night was the Video Game Awards, hosted by, that was being live streamed somewhere. I was planning on watching it, but I had a sore mouth, I had a bad infection in my gums, and I just went to bed. But I found out this morning that because they are dicks, Hideo Kojima wanted to be there to accept any awards that Metal Gear Solid 5 was going to get, and it did get some awards. Damn, Skippy was getting awards. He was invited there personally by Jeff Keighley. Everyone knows who Jeff Keighley is. He's been a host of video game specials and award shows and TV shows for a long time. He's basically one of the faces of video game reporting. But Konami's lawyers said that Mr. Kojima was not allowed. He was not allowed to be at the award show. They essentially banned him. And they raked it in, and sadly, all the awards that, I don't know how many awards that the Phantom Pain got, but all the awards had to be accepted by other people, including Kiefer Sutherland, the voice of Big Boss in the Phantom Pain. I'm going to read you the article right here. This comes from attackofthefanboy.com, and it reads, Hideo Kojima banned from the Game Awards thanks to Konami. Jeff Keighley announced at the Game Awards that Hideo Kojima was not allowed to attend the show because Konami wouldn't allow it. Keighley said that he invited Kojima to go, but Konami's lawyers said he was not allowed to come to the Game Awards because of some employment contract. Kojima had to stay home and watch the awards from his home in Tokyo. Other people had to accept awards that Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain won, such as Kiefer Sutherland. As a tribute to the man that made the game, Stephanie Justin, who played Quiet in the game, played the Quiet theme nicely at the Game Awards. Too bad Kojima couldn't be there to see everything. There was still some bad blood between Kojima and Konami. We don't know the details yet, but Konami had to have been really mean to him over the past few months and more. That's the end of the article. Now, like I said, I don't know all the details. I doubt anyone really knows the details other than the big wigs at Konami and Kojima himself and probably the members of his team. But this is a slap in the face to someone who has brought in hundreds of millions of dollars to this company. Konami, sure, they made a good market for themselves with the side-scrolling beat-em-up market, but it's Kojima and his fantastic games that kept the company afloat, that made them a competitor with the likes of Sony, the likes of Capcom and Nintendo, that kept them afloat, that kept their name up there. And for them to do this to that big cash cow, like, hey, you've made us enough money, get the fuck out, we can manage without you. By the way, the game that you worked your ass off of, you're not going to be able to come to the award show, so fuck you. That would be like if Paramount, had Steven Spielberg make one final Indiana Jones movie. It was a big box office success, and then they fired him for whatever reason. And then if it won any awards, if it won any Oscars or what have you, then they said, "Oops, sorry, Steven Spielberg, you're not allowed to come to the Oscars. Fuck you. That's why." This is what it is. This was a slap to the face to a man who has entertained generations upon generations of gamers since the late 80s. A man who wanted to direct movies but directed games. That's what he wanted to do. And he made games that played like movies. He gave us a man named Solid Snake, a simple soldier, and told his story brilliantly. He deserves better than this. So yeah, I know that Konami is planning to make another Metal Gear Solid game without Kojima's involvement, and this is what I want you guys to do. Don't buy it. Buy Metal Gear Solid 5 you were going to buy because it was Kojima's last game with the company. The last game that he poured his blood, sweat, and tears into. The last game that would have his brand on it. The last game that you say could feel like an official Metal Gear Solid game. But now, fuck the next game coming out. Fuck Konami. Fuck Konami. I'm saying it right now. If this is how they treat someone like Kojima, then they have no respect for the business and they have no respect for you and me and everyone who is a gamer and who is a fan of this series. So I'm gonna say what everyone else is probably gonna be saying about this. The best way you can get back at Konami is to just hit them where it hurts. The wallet. Just boycott them. Don't buy any more of their products. Don't support them in any conceivable fashion. Don't do anything that could earn them a profit. They have to learn that there are consequences to their actions. When you treat a legend like Hideo Kojima like this, you have to expect backlash. And this needs to be the backlash of their stupidity and fucked upness. This has to send them a message like, hey, you cannot treat a legend like this. He did more for your company than your company could do for itself. And this is how you treat him? With some rigmarole lawyer bullshit that says that he can't come to an award ceremony for the game that he made? What the fuck, Konami? If I look like I'm pissed off, I am seriously pissed off. I love Hideo Kojima's games. I love them. His attention to detail, and the way he conveys messages about human nature, about war, about suffering, about everything. His games made you think about the world and what we're leaving behind for the next generation. It's not preachy, but it just comes off that makes you think. That's what I like about his games. Not only do they make you feel like you're in the action, but it makes you think. So yeah, fuck Konami. Fuck him in the ass with a big rubber dildo. Fuck him in the ass with a water bottle that's frozen halfway. Break it off at halfway and beat him to death with it. Fuck Konami. Mr. Kojima, I doubt that you will ever watch this video. But just know that you mean something to me. And honestly, if I had the money, I would do an awards. I would do just a night of Kojima, where we just celebrated your career as a game director and developer, where we can celebrate you and these games that you have left behind for us. Kojima, you are the man, and fuck Konami 2 times. So yeah, that's my video. You want to talk about, you like what you see, you know what to do. Link, comment, subscribe below. Got any questions, comments, or just want to discuss the fucked upness that Konami is doing to this icon of gaming? Leave it below. I will get back to you. You already know what to do to support the channel. You already know this. Just go ahead and do it. This is just what I wanted to talk about. So until next time, it's been shintigercurl, that dude in the straw hat, saying good day and fuck you, Konami.